lifted up its tail.
Welcome to the woods, the Reinstein Woods that is, a place where this white-tailed deer is one of many natural wonders you might discover just minutes away from downtown Buffalo.
I've spotted some turtles out there. If you look across the pond, there's some logs in the water.
Today, environmental educator Kristen Buechi leads a group of students on a tour through the woods in search of wildlife.
Those are painted turtles. They have a very dark greenish black back, and then there's red all around the edges, so they're pretty colorful.
Colorful is the perfect word to describe one of the highlights of Reinstein Woods.
One of the main features that a lot of visitors like to come see every year is our famous lily pond. The water lilies were planted by Mrs. Reinstein and her daughter in the 1950s, and they're a pink variety, so they're not the typical native white variety or a yellow variety that most people are familiar with.
Reinstein Woods is not only a place to see natural treasures, it's a spot where you can engage your other senses as well.
A lot of times we don't use our noses when we're walking outside. We use our eyes a lot, we use our ears a lot. We don't use our noses, so I have something to share with you that I think smells really good. So I'm going to hold it under your nose. Think about what it smells like, but don't say anything until everybody has a chance to smell. So what did it smell like to you?
Mint.
Mint? Ginger?
Peppermint.
Peppermint?
Root beer.
Root beer. Oh, have you smelled this tree before? No. Oh, it just smelled like root beer. Good. A lot of times people think, oh, it smells like mint, it smells like something familiar, but they're not sure exactly what. And it does smell a little bit like root beer. What you're smelling is wintergreen oil, which is used to make a lot of gum and different kinds of candy, but it's also used in root beer. And this is from a yellow birch tree. It's the tree behind with the peeling bark. And if you scratch off the bark on one of those little tiny twigs, you get that delicious root beer or wintergreen smell.
When you're with the kids or you're giving a tour, what are you trying to teach them? What do you want them to take away?
I want them to take away a respect for nature. We try to tread lightly, not walk off the trails. If we look under a log, we roll it back gently to try to avoid crushing anything underneath. A respect for nature and still a sense of wonder that there's a lot of neat things out there to discover. And once they start discovering things here, they can discover them in their own backyards as well.
Sometimes common things can be discovered in uncommon places.
That's the first time I have seen a snake hanging out in a bush by the side of the pond. It's most likely a northern water snake. They're not poisonous or not venomous, but they're not one you want to go and try to pick up. They're kind of known as crabby or short-stempered snakes. They will try to bite you.
Nature is rarely predictable at Reinstein, but it's always interesting.
Most people don't realize when they drive into the parking that we have almost 300 acres back here of wildlife with trails, with ponds. So it's nearby, and it has a great variety of wildlife habitats, and not too far away, and always something interesting to see. Red-winged blackbird's flying right by us. There's a crayfish.